Why, hello there. Welcome to my sample series. This is where I showcase games running on enhanced or next-gen consoles in 4K and or HDR. It's been a while since I've done one of these, months in fact. Probably the longest hiatus I've taken from this series, but I am back. I am showcasing the Ascent running on the Xbox Series X, courtesy of Game Pass. And yeah, this is a pretty darn good looking game. You'd have to figure that if any game's going to get me to want to do one of these, it's going to have to be really good looking, right? And I think this game fits the bill. This is a sort of a top-down camera angle Diablo style game with some, basically it's a twin joystick shooter, and it's set in a dystopian cyberpunk setting. And it definitely has a whole lot of Blade Runner influence, and I assume influences of other movies of that genre as well. But regardless, I'm going to sort of just jump into my completed save file here. I have finished the main story of this game. Check out my daily long play stream series for proof of that. And yeah, I'm just going to sort of showcase the world of this game, because that's easily the best looking part of it. I probably won't really take on any missions. This will probably only be one video, but hopefully you'll get the idea across of how good looking this game is. I am recording this in 4K at 60 frames a second. And yeah, right out of the gate, look at that. Now that is just like basically a skybox, pretty much, but it is a very striking one. Guess it's more of a ground box, really. And I'm going to be showcasing as much of the different environments that this game has to offer. Although I spent a decent amount of time playing this game, I still don't really know how to navigate around all that much to the interesting looking parts of it. This is the elevator to the deep stink. Deep stink. Basically the sewer area. We got some nice scary looking glass floors here that I would be too terrified to walk on in real life. Well, considering this is a video game, that doesn't really matter all that much. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little half-hour video on this game here. Look at that. I'm going to be saying that a lot. I'll try to say something more intelligent and meaningful occasionally, but for the most part it's just me going, ooh, look at that. I'm trying to get to, like, the shopping district. Ooh, an idea what the combat looks like. That's just a bounty that doesn't take much effort to take down, so I'll just get that. Okay, so a little bit of the combat. It's not quite a twin joystick shooter because I'm having to push the right trigger to fire, but I am aiming and walking around like a twin joystick shooter. I'll pick this up even though I don't have a use for it, because I can always sell it for more money. You can also hold left trigger to aim high, although you will shoot over the heads of smaller targets by doing that. It's not always advisable to left trigger, right trigger in this game. But you are more likely to get critical headshots if you do. Yeah, this is a pretty good game. If you have Game Pass, I'd highly recommend giving it a try. Really, there's no reason not to. It's not that long. And if you're good at games, unlike me, you should be able to beat it in much less time than it took me. Alright, the game does have a taxi feature, So I'm going to use this to get to, it's a fast travel, basically. I'm going to use this to get to sort of the, shopping district of this layer. Now I'm going to try to show off as much of this game as I can. This is a safe zone. You can't engage in combat here, but your health will regenerate automatically. And to make sure it's a safe zone, you got these high-powered sentry turrets keeping, let's say, violent people out. Crafting system. Can I upgrade any of my nonsense? Probably not. Oh yeah, I can actually. Guess I'll upgrade my grenade launcher then. You basically find components. Fully upgraded a weapon. I guess you can't upgrade that anymore. Alright. Basic components, advanced components, and superior ones to upgrade your weapons. Now I wonder how this game would look if it were from the first-person perspective. I don't know. City Kebab. Just look at that. Now, I've only played a tiny amount of Cyberpunk 2077, specifically for a video on this here series. I can show what the subway station looks like. I'm probably going to head to the, let's head to Stimtown. It's kind of interesting. Probably going to head to the archaeology to go to other levels. Should probably show the map, too. This guy forever looking at his portable holographic projector. Well, yeah, there are different levels, and let me show you the map here. This is one of them. I can't remember the name of this section, though. But you basically go to the archaeology to access different areas, different levels. Basically, it's like a very tall city, and each section is like a different layer of it. Each one of these is a different floor, basically. If that makes any sense. I'm not good at explaining stuff. And a dirty dive. I think you get some side missions here. I don't have any at the moment, but yeah, look, a grungy, dingy toilet. A bathroom, I mean. Sometimes the camera angle does do stuff like this. I mean, lots of usage of neon here. So one thing I can say that all this Cyberpunk stuff has in common, a whole lot of neon. I don't know if Blade Runner invented that aesthetic, but I certainly associate it heavily, in my mind at least, with that movie. Right. Let's head back to the oncology and go to a different layer. Yeah, from what I can tell, there's like 4 layers. There's the sewer section, which is where you start out in. There's this section. There's Hightown, and then there's the Pinnacle, which is the smallest of them. But it's sort of like the last section you unlock in the game. I just love that backdrop. Look at that. Alright. Take a look at the map here. We're in the Warrens right now. I want to get to the next section. So I never really learned how to navigate myself. That's the deep stink. We don't want to go there. I mostly just followed the waypoint, and right now it's pointing me towards one of the side missions. And it might actually be pointing me in the direction I want to go anyway. So let's just do that. But yeah, like I said, if you have Game Pass, and you have an Xbox Series console, or an Xbox One X, I'd highly recommend getting this game. It doesn't quite run very well on, from what I understand, according to Digital Foundry anyway. It doesn't quite run that well on older Xboxes, the launch model Xbox One, but it might be fine? I don't know. This is a good-looking game. It's pretty fun to play, too. It's a little tough, especially at the beginning. Especially if you're like me and you don't really know how to use a lot of the abilities. It took me a long time to figure out that stuff.
This is the feed, and I'm forever grateful of it. My dear audience, I have learned things almost too incredible.
So you can see I'm looking very robotic-y right now.
That should have stayed buried. But I remain your grateful abbot, and the feed must be fed.
Alright, this is a part of town where it's always raining. But more neon lights, which is always a good thing. I can show you what this looks like. All these orange chests are either weapons or equipment or skill points or components. Sadly, I did not spend as much time or put as much effort into getting these things as I went along, but I digress. As always. Unfortunately, there's no real way to fast travel between one layer and another. You have to use the arcology elevators to do so, and they don't go the entire length of it. One arcology will connect to the floor above it, and another one will connect to the floor below it. But you can't get from like the lowest level to the highest level directly. Like, there's the elevator that leads to the Pinnacle, and I'll go there in a little bit. Just not quite yet. I'd like to show off some of the, now in a combat zone. Ah, is it guiding me towards Raphael's bag? Whatever that is. Maybe I will complete a side mission whilst I'm here. There's a grenade. Pretty darn effective. When the camera angle goes like this, it's kind of hard to tell where you are. On the left, right, on the in the depth section part of the. I'm having difficulty talking. I should probably stop, but I won't. And when the camera angle changes, it can become a little bit difficult to avoid running into parts of the scenery. At least that's an issue that I've found to have had. Yeah, for some reason, the game is just sort of, sending me back and forth between these different parts of the map. Is it here? A skill point. I'll take that. Skill points are basically what you use to upgrade your stats. It's not really a skill point, it's more of a stat point, but that's how they refer to it. Summon my robot here to distract these guys. They're getting a little annoying. Find Raphael's bag. I don't know where it is. I probably won't actually find it, so whatever. It's in one of two fairly large areas with no specific. That guy's a samurai sword. Yeah, that's my employer complaining when I accidentally shoot a civilian. Whatever. Sweary McSwear word there. That's one of the upgrade components there. Eh. Well, whatever. It's not always clear what you're supposed to be doing. This is less about showing off the missions, which really aren't much of anything. In fact, the story of this game is kind of irrelevant. I will heal while I'm in transit. You can crouch as well. Makes you harder to hit. People walking around with their translucent umbrellas. Go to the glut here.
This is the feed, and I'm forever grateful of it.
Get plenty of these transition scenes
Learn
here.
things almost too incredible to accept. Truth better not known. Facts.
My ridiculous robot outfit is ridiculous.
But I remain your grateful abbot, and the feed must be.
Alright, we are out of the combat zone for the moment. Only to go back into it. Here is another, another bounty. I have to go to a, bar to, cash these in at some point. Look, there's one up ahead. Show you that system.
Spend some Eucreds and now this.
You don't get much money for these things, though.
Another one bites the dust. Some Eucreds for you.
Thank you. Look at that view. No, you can't fly any of these things. They just are things you can occasionally loot for something. And if you shoot them enough, they'll blow up as well. Alright. How about if I head off to the oncology, and I'll show you the pinnacle, and then maybe I'll finish off this video by showing you the ground floor, the deep stink. Probably not. That area isn't actually all that interesting looking. Going to the pinnacle.
Protect our investment. Protect the Ascent group. Defend against all intruders.
As you can see, this area has a much different look to it than the lower areas. It's all clean and shiny. There's actually grass and trees and such. But the real view is here. It's basically Cloud City. Unfortunately, as nice as this part of the game looks, there is almost nothing to do here. There's not even like a town for shopping and such. Show you what I mean. This is it. Maybe I'll try to get to that other elevator. That might allow me to get to, like, the deep sink faster. Yeah, let's go there. But yeah, this is a very good looking game. I don't know if I said that enough, but it is. Seems to be running at a pretty stable frame rate. I've only had the game crash once in my time playing it. Well, it seems strange like that a game like this would crash at all. The corporation I was, and still technically am working for, is now the owner of this building, so I'm totally free to go in here. These are friendly turrets. Although they weren't friendly when I first came in here. Unfortunately, there's no run button in this game. So I kind of ended up rolling around as much as I could to speed up getting places. Hack things by pushing and holding Y. Oh, this is a different area. The Nexus. Alright, let's go there.
This is the feed, and I'm forever grateful of it. My dear audience, I have learned things almost too...
Ah, alright. Well, if you wanna... Oh, crap. There's those turrets. If you want to level up, this might be an okay area to do it. Well, granted, I'm significantly higher level than these guys, so maybe not. Alright, well, I guess I won't get to show you the deep stink, but it's a sewer. It's not really all that interesting. But yeah, that's going to just about do it for me for this video here, though. But before I go, I'm going to take a moment to thank you for watching. Ooh, a bounty. Should get that guy. I appreciate when people take time out of their day to watch my streams or my videos, whether in live or in archive form. Just as a quick reminder, I like to do a stream almost every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from Sunday through Friday. From Sunday through Thursday, excuse me. At the moment, I still don't know what I'm going to do. But hopefully by the time you see this, I will have figured that out and started my next daily long play stream series. And I would like to get back to the point where I'm doing these sample videos on a regular basis. I like to have them published on Fridays in the morning. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, folks. This has been a brief look at the Ascent running on the Xbox Series X, which is still on Game Pass as of the time of this video's recording. And I highly recommend taking a look at it, especially if you have Game Pass. I don't know what the full price of this game is on its own. Thankfully, I don't have to know. But if you have Game Pass, definitely check it out. I believe it's also out on PC. I don't know if it's out on any other console, so it might be an Xbox console exclusive. That's going to do it for me today, folks. And until next time, take it easy.